Alright, so we're going to try this little Crackshot, see what it's like. Yeah, it's good for kids to learn. So let's just see how it shoots. Okay, so it's a nice little safety feature on here. If it's unsafe and it's not ready to fire, you can't even cock it back. That's good. Put it in fire. It'll be ready to go for you. Okay, so it is single action only.
Clang.
All right. So yeah, it's ideal what you'd want if you were trying to teach a kid to shoot. It's very safe. You get one shot, and you can't fire it unless you have it ready to fire. Any safety or anything, you can't even cock it back to even get ready. That's really nice. Single shot, and put another one in. All right. Well, there you go. Let's take it back to the shop and talk about it a little bit more. All right. So got to shoot this a couple times out on the range. It's made by Ardesa in Spain, and it's imported by Traditions. That's the Crackshot. Overall, it's a well-balanced firearm, chambered in 20-22, so shoots really nice. Not any kick to it. Shoots just fine. I guess we'll go over it a little bit more in detail. Start with cleaning. Just so break open. All I would really do is run a bore snake through it, wipe it down. I think as long as you just keep it a little cleaned up and oiled up, you're not going to have an issue with it. You don't have to be as on top of it with cleaning, since there's no action to worry about mucking up and having possible issues with. All right. Overall, you know how in the gun community we always like to say that firearms are tools, because they are, and how people who may not be in the gun community or just don't know much about firearms want to make fun of us for saying that because they don't know what they're talking about. To me, this is a great example of a tool. I don't know how it is where you are, but in our part of the world, we're in the South, it's not uncommon for, if you're 5 or 6 years old, to be out in the field learning to shoot, learning to respect firearms and handle them safely. As long as you handle these properly, they are fun. Any firearm is just fun to shoot and play around with and get to learn. If you're not safe with them, not so fun. Could be some issues. But to me, this is a great teaching tool. Alright, so first off, you will notice there are no sights on this. You have your rail up top. So that's where I guess you can kind of start with explanation a little bit. You can get like a cheap red dot or a cheap scope or something to throw up here. You can kind of talk a little bit about optics and go into as much detail as you choose about that. Another good advantage to this is it will fire only in single action, so you're going to have to cock the hammer in order to shoot it. That's another good little teaching thing you can talk about as well. You can discuss how you don't want to dry fire, rim fire. It's proper gun etiquette. If you go into a gun shop or a gun store, you don't dry fire, rim fire firearms, because you can damage the firing pin and they'll be inoperable. If that firing pin hits that face and it breaks off just the tip of the firing pin, it's useless. It's not going to operate as it should. So that's a good little lesson. Also, safety. Around here we start shooting when we're 5 or 6. So if I was going to teach a kid that young, I would rather them have a single shot to load and shoot instead of giving them something that's mag fed. Even it being 22 long rifle, I wouldn't be comfortable with giving someone so young that doesn't know about firearms a loaded magazine to shoot. But that's just my feelings on it. You may be okay with it. That's your decision. Also, with it being a break open 22 caliber, you can do 22 short, 22 long, or 22 long rifle through here. It's no problem. And it's a good little another teaching tool. You can go over with them the differences that all 22s are certainly not the same. 22 is a very popular caliber. When I think 22, I think ARs. When you think 22, I don't know what comes to your mind. Maybe a 10-22, who knows? But there are just so many different firearms that are chambered in a 22 caliber. So that would be a good little way to start kind of explaining that. You could put you on a strap here if you want. It's set up for that. It's really nice. Okay, if you're hot, it will cock back into single action and you can shoot. If you're safe, it will not cock back. So it's a really good, safe firearm to teach with. Another thing that would be good is with the one shot. Anything you do with the 22 long rifle, you could do with this. So if you want to go after small game, this would be a good way to teach a small child to hunt. How one shot is what you need. You don't want to shoot multiple times. You want one shot. You want it to be clean, and you don't want the animal to suffer. And that's kind of a good way to teach them that and get them into that habit of just one shot, because all you have is one shot. But overall, it is what it is. It's not something that I would pick up to go to the range to shoot a lot. It's something that I would use just as a teaching tool, in my opinion. But it has other uses, of course. So that's really about all I guess I have to say about it. Overall, I was pleased with it for what it is. And yeah, all right. Well, thanks for watching, and hope you have a great day. Bye.